I've been putting in like applications because I'm finishing up with law school, and I've been putting applications into firms, and in my applications I'm like, yeah, like I commentate video games online. It's transferable skills, you know. It's transferable skills.
And now we have Raúl versus Svexy, and this is actually the first game of the day where we've had Singularity. Now, Singularity was recently added to the ladder pool, as one of the A tier chase killers, and typically he's seen on records at the moment, but DDS also pretty common as that's his 4v1 map. I believe he has the exhaustion add-on, which means that he did not actually get any of his line value there. And an early hit coming out. Oh, this is not looking very good for Raúl.
That's less than 20 seconds, and I mean, you don't have. This is something where, you know, the 4v1 and 1v1 is so different, right? You don't have other survivors huddling around you with their EMPs to help you out. 35, maybe 34 seconds that we got there? Yeah, 35
I believe that was...
seconds. That's insane. I mean, again, I haven't seen a lot of Singularity, but with the fact that you can, if you attach a biopod super early, and you can't do anything to get rid of it, that doesn't seem like a out of the question sort of like anomalous time.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday we saw, I believe, a very similar time with a Singularity on DDS set. I don't remember who the players were, but it was a very quick chase then too. So Singularity is actually really dangerous when it comes to chase on DDS because obviously the pallets already are relatively weak. There's a lot of them, but they're relatively weak. Most of them are 50-50s. But with Singularity having that speed and the teleport, even if you somehow make distance, he can teleport onto you and then has the speed afterwards, plus the extra break speed, the vault speed, and the fact that if you stun him while in overclock, the pallet instantly breaks. And all the Singularity gets is a little bit hindered.
Not just that, but also I saw in the endgame that Singularity was running the foreign plant fibers add-on. That reduces your movement speed penalty after getting pallet stun during overclock. So it's even worse. Like the pallets suck. Also, you can't use them because he'll break them instantly. Also, he doesn't even get slowed that much anymore by those pallets breaking. This really is like a take every second you can get type of situation.
And we actually got confirmation that the chase that I was thinking of yesterday was actually South Lane going down at 30 seconds versus Svexy as well. So it seems Svexy is a big fan of the Singularity sets. Now, I think what happened that last game was Raúl had a plan in his head. He was going to camp Shack Pallet, wait for Svexy to TP onto him, and use his Lithe and make it all the way to main while Svexy is sitting there hindered and wondering where Raúl's going, and Raúl didn't notice that he got actually exhausted. So Svexy taking the stun there so that he can try to get a bunch of distance, because Raúl actually has the start with the biopod on you add-on.
Yeah, okay. So, I mean, you think how much of a difference that would make? Because we saw in the last chase, it only took about like 5 seconds to get the biopod attached anyway. Now you start with it, you're already approaching the 30-second mark, and you unfortunately haven't gotten your hit off yet. Again, there's no real issue with Singularity closing distance onto the survivor, or maybe thinking that they'd be camping the pallet, but no, Svexy's just a little too smart for that. Has already done more than enough to win this round out here, so now it's just about playing for ego. However, calling there that Svexy would greed the pallet, good work there from Singularity. You are in a bit of a rough spot here right now. You're zoned away from that pallet, and unfortunately you don't have one over on this barrel over here. So that's going to be about a 105, 106 chase or so. And I mean, yeah, so looking at the add-on, so you don't have the exhausted add-on, but you do still have the one to reduce that move speed penalty when you get hit with the overclock.
My personal unknown skin is the grandma like wolf skin.
That's little red horrifying to look at. I'm like, nah, I just quit the game.
I have the wolf head and the axe with the normal prestige body, and although you have a wolf head on like, you know, a human's body, with unknown it doesn't even actually look that weird. Like, it obviously looks weird, but it looks like it fits.
This
So
is
that
something he would do.
yeah, exactly. Unknown is obviously one of my favorite killers. Design wise, gameplay wise, just everything. Unknown is amazing, and I was so sad when I heard that he was going to be leaving the ladder pool. Unfortunately.
How sad. Okay, you're going to be starting out here. Okay, time has begun. I think that everyone's online, but I have the backup timer ready. Okay, 2 perks as well. So I think we do have the benchmark of kind of 121 last time to compare it to. The issue that we have here is that Svexy's kind of in the corner. This window, of course, doesn't connect into anything. Pallet obviously does, but you have to get yourself out of this corner first. You know, having to drop the pallet on the wrong side, plus the window being bamboozled, you could be in for a pretty tough time here. Injury gets here. I thought there might have been potential for the M2 there, but regardless, early injury, you're going to take that as the Bubba regardless, right? You're going to be very happy about that one. That was the first hit that came through about the 30-second mark.
Oh, yeah, and M1 sub 40 seconds on Bubba is also really good. It seemed that Svexy got kind of stuck after that pallet drop. He actually misses the vault. I think he either tried to mind game and think that Raúl would commit to the other side, expecting Svexy to vault because obviously he hadn't used his live yet, or he just straight up missed the vault because he kind of kissed that wall a little bit. So he doesn't actually even meet his time previously. So obviously, no hate, but it seems that the 3 perks helped.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, 56
No,
seconds. That's no. It's all love. It's all love in this community. But no, 56 seconds. 55 seconds. It's a phenomenal chase time. Coming out. Now it's going to be Raúl on the survivor side. You just need to wait that out a little bit more, and should be home free. I mean, yeah, I find Bubba to be quite interesting simply because it's interesting to me how in 1v1s, like, I do get it, like, why you're playing for the M1, like, the M2, it's just, like, the pathing of everyone is so good that they will have something to get to by the time that you've charged up the M2. Just get the injury while you actually have them in your sights before they end up extending the chase by another 2 minutes or so, right? I just find it, again, it goes back to the kind of thought about how different kind of ladder is, and the 1v1 ladder especially, from just playing the 4v1.
Yeah, 4v1 chase, while obviously it takes some elements from 1v1, as you need to know how to link things, you need to know how to play certain tiles, you need to know the check spots, like you need to know how to play things properly, which is what 1v1 is all about. But the 4v1 chase is just played so much differently. It's 1v1, you have the entire map at your disposal. In 4v1, you only have a little segment, because you don't want the killer interrupting those gens. And we finally starting out here, and now, Raúl has a very good win con. As long as he doesn't get insta-downed with a chainsaw, this should be a win. I do not believe that Raúl is going to get downed sub 1 minute with M1 only.
Yeah, it would certainly be a struggle. You have burnt the life already to get yourself another use over at the shack, and you should be able to get yourself into another vault as well here, and get yourself the pallet down as well. Raúl, however, here kind of has a similar problem. It kind of has a similar problem to what Svexy had last round, where you are a little trapped in this corner. That being said, you have this kind of trash pile gem over here to connect yourself to into a TNL wall as well. We're already at the 45-second mark. I have no doubts that Raúl is going to be just fine here.
Yeah, Raúl, he does read this. I mean, there's no, like, Svexy doesn't even have enough time to actually catch up, but, so he's already met the win condition, so we are going to be going tiebreaker. But yeah, the difference here is that Svexy's shack so much more zonable. He had the pallet facing towards mid-map, which means that as soon as Raúl broke, he had nowhere to go. So he kind of was forced to get him warned. So it's very well played from Raúl though. Oh, he gets the perfect timing as well. He should be dead here though. Yeah,
that's just overkill. He's already injured, bro. He needs to prepare some chili. Don't worry about it. Yeah, I do find it interesting because you were talking in the first trial about the double speed add-ons, or at least earlier talking about the double speed add-ons. That one, I feel like speed is always a good thing to have, but that one you were using the speed and the award-winning chili. Do you have a particular preference over double speed, all in one speed, and also slightly longer chainsaw sweeps?
Well, I used to be a bit of a chili man, obviously before the Bubba buff, but they actually what they did is they buffed his base kit and actually nerfed the add-on. So the add-on doesn't really give as much value as it used to.
Mhm.
So I actually go with something different. I go with a Beast Marks and the Primer Bulb, which Primer Bulb increases the charge rate of each token. Uh, so that means that you're as soon as you break a pallet, you can be back to 3 charges almost immediately. So
Hmm.
I know a lot of people they choose between double speed and the primer bulb, and you don't really see chili that much. Double speed, in my opinion, is a bit too risky because you can't. The M2 is it takes so long to charge. You nearly tantrum from one charge just with double speed on its own. So you can't really break pellets instantly and zone as quickly, but you can outplay the pellets a bit more. So personally, I go with Primer Bolt because you don't have as long of a charge time, but you have a little bit of speed to create some pressure on loops as well. And then you can have your tokens back immediately and possibly get that M2 down. It's very rare in ladder though, unfortunately.
Yeah.
We we
That
do
that
have
that is, I absolutely love speaking to people who have just like played so much 1v1 and can just rattle off knowledge like that. It is
yeah,
genuinely amazing.
I've been playing ladder for about a year and like 3-4 months ish is when I did my first ladder match. So I've been playing for a while. I haven't been playing that consistently. I've taken huge breaks here and there, but overall I've been playing for quite a while. And we're starting off with a clown tiebreaker on CT. Now I know a lot of people have this opinion. Clown on CT don't really feel the best for the clown because as soon as that survivor makes main building, that's like a free minute and 30 seconds a lot of the times, even
Hmm.
even with clown slow. So uh, he's got some really good pallets here as well. He can just play this Godfather and go instantly back to Shack. So it's already a very good start for Raúl.
And if I recall, you still have Shack Palette up as well, so that's a key resource that you're going to get to deal with. Of course, Life has been used. You are going to get the Finesse off cooldown shortly, and you kind of have the backup with that as well. Not only do you have Finesse for when you're healthy, but because you're allowed 3 perks, you have Resilience for when you're injured. We're now approaching, slowly but surely, the 1 minute mark. And Raúl actually, normally going kind of onto that high ground can cause some issues, but there you force the clown to chase you, meaning that you can, instead of just being stuck out, you actually get the time to make it over to those other fillers. And another one over here as well, and you are forced to drop the pallet eventually. I feel like, yeah, okay, well, that's a great bottle, so that is going to ensure the hit. And Raúl recognizes, okay, I can't play that anymore. I'm just going to run myself all the way over to main. And I believe Clown had to slow down to reload there as well, so now you have all of main building for Raúl.
Yep. And another thing that I find interesting, Raúl has brought Resi, Lithe, and Finesse. Now, Finesse and Lithe, I completely understand. I actually agree with those perk choices. But something I don't see a lot of people bringing is Vigil. Almost gets a mind game there. He actually, I think he might be dead here. I don't believe he makes anything. Yes, that mind game costed him a lot of distance.
Yes, however, here's the thing. So at the time, so at that time, Svexy was tossing the bottle, right? If it didn't have the bottle out, then that could have ended about 10 seconds earlier or so. Because, yes, the mind game was still good and he still got slowed, meaning he wasn't going to make much more distance. But Sliver's still able to make a teeny bit more. And every single second counts. I mean, we've already had one matchup today, which was decided by 3 entire seconds. I think it's teeny little plays like that, 1:57 being the final time on the clock, where it goes beyond skill or knowledge and goes into kind of luck at the end of the day.
Yeah. See, this just shows the strength of CT versus Clown because Clown really benefits from the distance between tiles, and with CT you don't really have that. So 157 is still a very good time, but Clown on Wreckers used to average a minute, maybe even less than that. But going back to what I was saying about the perk choice, is I don't see a whole lot of people running Vigil versus Clown. And if you didn't know, Vigil, in fact, even got buffed, where it actually reduces the time of the hindered from the Clown bottles by a whole 40%. So
Hmm.
you can get actually more distance from Vigil uh, out of the Clown bottles. And I actually checked the balancing mid game there, and Vigil actually is not banned.
Not
It's
banned.
not banned. It's not general banned. It's not banned specifically on Clown either, which is also brings me to realize that you actually can bring Vigil on Freddy as well. But obviously, Freddy's only allowed 2 perks, so you don't have as much leeway with that as you do with Clown.
Hmm. I can just imagine like you're just in the lab, you're like writing notes of like you're just writing like an essay like why we need to start running Vigil against Clown. Everyone's just looking on.
Exactly, exactly. I like to see
That's
myself as the aughts of ladder, except not
ah
as
yes.
cool.
Ah yes. Okay,
Yeah,
I
I'm just
see.
I'm just not as cool. We see him coming out with the same perk choices as Raul with Lithe Resi and Finesse. Now, obviously,
When practicing for ladder as Clown, do you read what is it like that 78-page Clown guide?
oh no, I made my own 79-page clown guide.
Ah yeah
Uh,
yeah 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 got
yeah,
you.
it's just one word, throw bottle, and then the rest of it is just spam of saying that aughts owns DBD.
Okay, well, I will see you later in the insane asylum. It will be a wonderful visit, and I'm sure your padded cell will be particularly comfortable. So is he already
Mhm.
going to be forced to drop Shack Pallet? If you can get yourself over to something else here. Again, it's as you say, you don't exactly have any distance whatsoever, but that time Svexy actually going to get caught out by these bottles, and that could almost the potential of a hit. Life is going to be used to get yourself another loop out of it, but you've been hindered during it all as well. Fortunately,
Ooh,
Gold
good picking.
barely able to come through there. Going to reset things for a little bit, but I think this hinder, not quite going to be able to do it either. It's like Sisyphus every single time that you get the slow and you think, maybe this time I'll get it. They just end up vaulting the window anyway. I mean, this is an opportunity best as any to reset, I suppose, to reload your bottles, but Svexy eventually able to drop off. Bought so much time there pretty easily. First hit comes through as the vault's coming out as well, so you really don't make that much distance at all for Svexy here. Do you even have anything to work with? No, you don't. You're going to be going
No,
down. That's the
car pallet
109 mark, and
car
oh
pallet
my
was
god.
unfortunately on the other side of main building, so he doesn't actually make anything. Now, had he hit that fast vault, he potentially could have made something. But he not only got hit after the vault, he got hit during the medium vault. So like half of his speed boost was already wasted. And versus a clown, that is really not good. So Raul actually takes the tiebreaker with that. So we have to say goodbye to Svexy, which means unfortunately I'm not going to see many more singularity sets.